Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and we're going to continue on with our project car. Right behind me we got a 350z 2003 with a Greddy twin turbo kit. Just posted a few videos what we have done to it so far, so if you haven't seen it, go to our channel and check them out. But we're going to carry on, so let's go. Alright, so we're coming to the end. There's a few more things, like I mentioned in the previous video, that we had to fix. I kind of been going at it for a little bit today. First thing I want to mention is this elbow that we had to cut, roll a couple beads on it, and then change our couplers. We got some of these nice 4-ply Z1 couplers. If you guys not sure how to know how many ply it is, you can just look down in here and see how many stitches are ran all the way around. So there's 4 here, so it's a 4-ply. So we got a nice elbow, 4-ply couplers. Before that, if you guys haven't seen the videos, we had this PVC pipe with a water coupler from Home Depot. So we got rid of that, and now it's nice and legit. Same thing for the other side. I'll put that down. Same thing for the other side. Another coupler. I already put one on, and we just got to replace one more. So this is also a water coupler. You can pick them up at Home Depot if you're working on your house plumbing. Now I'm going to pop this off next right now, and then get this headlight wire harness over to the other side, kind of rewrap this, secure it up at the top. So this is out of the way. Secure this plug right here. We do have to drill a hole and put a riv nut behind it. There's a clamp, actually. I'll show you here in a minute. But this is our power steering cooler line right here. So instead of that thing wobbling and rattling the whole time, we're gonna secure that thing. These guys, I end up actually cleaning them up. They look like the bear chewed on them. So we end up taking these off, cleaning them up, giving them a nice radius on both ends. And this is actually comes from Greddy whenever you purchase a kit. I know they're obsolete now, but anyway, 1 year was broken off, so we're down to just one of them. I end up putting this nice beefy bolt here and filling this up just to make sure it will hold the weight, and it does. So that is secured. We can actually refill this tank now, and this will be all good to go. On this side, I got to get in and get this wire. So I got to cut and resplice the wire, put it on this side of the bracket. As you can see, this light bulb that sits in there, one wire runs on this side of the bracket and the other one runs on that side. So we got to cut, fix this, secure this bundle of wires. And then the bottom of the intercooler didn't have any brackets right here, so it's not loose, but it does still move. I would like to secure that, and I did make some brackets right over here earlier today, so we're going to be putting these on. So this is a nice thick bracket. Got those things made this afternoon, so we're going to put these in on both sides, so that way intercooler is 100%. And I did tell you I had to make a bracket for our catch can, so I did make one. I still got to remove it and paint it. I'll show you that in a minute once the car's down. It's kind of high up there, but we'll get to that in a minute. So right now I'm going to start with getting this off, getting it replaced, securing the harness on both sides, redoing that other wire, putting our brackets in, making that 100%. We did have a missing bolt right here on your hood latch, and I'm sure you already all know you want to have all the bolts on your hood latch. It's a bad day when the hood flies out on the highway. So anyway, we got that in. Actually, it wasn't installed because the hole was all jacked up, so we had to tap the hole, put a bolt in it, so it is all good now. And then we're going to start reassembling, putting the bumper back on, all the stuff underneath of it, getting the button up 100%, so we can eventually go to the dyno and see what kind of power this car will make. But with that being said, let's do it. Alright guys, the only thing I want to point out is I know this connector is not being used, but it's all exposed, and once you start getting like moisture inside your wires, then you start having like weird problems. You're going to be chasing your tail for a while. So we're just going to use a piece of heat shrink here, and we're just going to close this off so nothing gets in it. Well, there you go. We're just going to stay like that. No water can get in there. And hopefully there will be no problems later down the road. But we're just going to zip that out of the way. Alright. So, all our couplers are on. Both sides. Clamps are tight. We got that clamp installed there. So now it's actually holding this thing down. Nothing's going to go anywhere. We got our brackets installed for our intercooler on the bottom. Bam. Come on, focus. Yeah, right there. On both sides. So we're good there. I did kind of just electrical tape the wire harness, tucked it out of the way so the wheel cannot contact that thing, and it's just zip tied out of the way. So the wheel well still got to go in. So it's the other side. We moved that one wire I was showing you over to the other side of the bracket. Here is our catch can. Basically made a bracket here. Still got to remove it. That's what I'm going to do next, and paint this thing black so it matches the engine bay. But in case you're wondering why it's not closer to the frame, one is because there's a filter sits right down here. And we had to clear, I'll get some light in here, we had to clear that, so now it's like right on the outside, or right behind it. And two, it had to move over to clear our frame or the structure of the hood. So if it was all the way in there, it would be sitting on top of our filter, it wouldn't work, and it would be hitting our structure of the hood. So that's why it's slightly extended. There is a spacer on the bottom to lift that off so it doesn't sit on top of the pipe. And these are the hoses that we made. They run all the way to the back, like I told you in the very first video. And this is our hose that just vents out to the outside. So I did end up making, so whenever I made the bracket, I drilled the holes for the catch can to be bolted on, and there's some rib nuts on the back side. I'll show you once we're removing. I do have to get different hardware. Those are just temporarily installed. You see how long they are. So those are gonna be removed, get some shorter ones. But this thing is nice and sturdy. It's not going anywhere. It looks good in the engine bay. It's nice and leveled. Otherwise it was just sitting over here, kind of zip tied, dangling around. And there's really no other room to where we can put it. There's this area right here, but it's still hitting the side, and then your both vent tubes will be pointing out and then curving over, and it's just doesn't look good. So I figured this would be the best spot because it points straight back. It looks nice and clean. So that's where we're gonna go. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that off, paint it. We're gonna put it on, and then we're gonna start putting our bumper on and our wheel liners. All right, boys. Well, there's our little bracket we made earlier. I put some riv nuts. Come on, focus camera. Yeah, there it is. So I put some riv nuts on the back. I just painted it so it matches the engine bay. There's our spacer that's sitting right there. And then I end up drilling a hole and putting the riv nut in there. So all that is gonna get put in there just like that. And it's gonna be looking good. So I'm gonna put that in now. And then I'm gonna clean up these wheel wells, both of them, get those in, and then we'll throw our bumper on. I went ahead and reinstalled everything. I didn't videotape all the boring stuff, putting the covers on, but we got our plastic that goes on the bottom of the engine is on, wheel well covers are on, obviously our bumper's on. She is looking good. And then before I pulled it off the rack, I went and fired her up just to make sure we got rid of that exhaust leak from yesterday, as I was talking about it. So we are all good there. And then there's one more thing I want to do. I want to replace this negative terminal for the battery. As you can tell, this thing is crusty. It's all oxidized on both sides. There's broken strands here, and we definitely don't want that. So obviously we're gonna just go ahead and upgrade it. So this is our 4-gauge wire, and we're gonna go to a 2-gauge wire, and I'm gonna make a new crimp for a terminal, put a heat shrink on it, and then put the other end in here so we can tighten up to our battery. You guys probably already seen me do this multiple times. We've got this hydraulic unit right here, and then you put your color in there, go ahead and crimp it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Sorry for the mess, guys, it's been a long day. So I'm gonna set you up. I'm gonna handle that real quick so we can have a fresh cable. And there you have it, nice fresh cable. We're gonna, once I install it, I'm gonna spray it, seal this up, and then we're also gonna go ahead and clean the chassis. So this has a nice contact point, and then we'll also seal that bolt up. Cable's in, installed. Here it is. I had to clean that surface up, sealed it down there. So that should be all good. So it makes me feel better that it's got a nice cable, especially going on a dyno. You guys don't want to have any bad cables, because that could potentially cause issues, and then you're just on the dyno wasting time, wasting money. So overall, guys, the car went back together pretty nice. If you guys haven't seen previous videos, just a little recap. We did the valve covers on this car. We ran the new hoses for our blow-by, made some bracketry for our intercooler, a little bit of wiring. We did a differential bushing. We did some bolt joints. So if you guys haven't seen those videos, go to the channel, check them out. So I'm pretty happy with the result. Everything came out nice, and I'm gonna try to make the dyno, get some footage for you guys so you guys can check it out, see how much power I made. But this is gonna be it for now, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take it easy.